What's up guys, it's Megan. I hope you're having a magical day and I hope that you are all staying safe in these times of uncertainty and the unknown. But today hopefully we'll be able to bring you some joy. Welcome to our quarantine craft party. This is a huge collaboration with 35 insanely talented Disney YouTubers. They make such wonderful items, so a lot of crafts. They make so many YouTube videos, but we are doing something that obviously is craft related, so we are using only the items that are found in our house currently, so things that we have on hand that we can create into one craft that is Disney related. So there's 35 videos that you're going to be able to watch and learn so much from. You can follow all of the things going on with the hashtag quarantine craft party, which is totally awesome. So if you want to know what I did, they're sitting right up on my head. I made these ears that I started a long time ago. So I had the vinyl on hand, and I just really wanted to make a pair that was inspired by the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway pair of ears. So if you guys want to learn how to make these, they turn around too and they move. Stay tuned and let's hop into the video. So starting out, I am taking my 16 gauge vinyl that I picked up from Joann's. I got about half of a yard. You don't need that much, but it was about $3 to get. I cut out 4 of my ear templates because I'm going to be sewing 2 and 2 together. And then I took a cup and traced around the opening of the cup to make the small inside circles that are going to go inside the ear. After they're all cut out, I'm sewing 2 of them together. You just line them up. And actually, if I were to redo this, I would probably find some clear thread if possible. I didn't have any on hand, so I just used what I had on hand. You can also see that I'm trimming some of the edges just to make sure that it is all even and both ears match. Next, I ended up taking 4 different images of Mickey and Minnie inspired by the new cartoon, and like I said, Mickey's and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So I reversed 2 of the images to meet that, and I am going to cut them out. Now, I didn't have an X-Acto knife on hand, but I would highly recommend using an X-Acto knife instead of scissors, but I ended up using this tiny pair of scissors to cut out all 4 of them, and I tried to do it as precisely as possible, but if you're going for a more precise look, definitely use the X-Acto knife. So after I had all 4 of the images cut out to how precisely I could possibly get it with a pair of scissors, I ended up taking some packing tape and I started to almost do a process of what would be laminating. So I ended up layering both the pieces on. You could see why I would reverse the other image, and then I layered another piece of tape and then I cut around it. If you do have a laminating machine, that's also going to be really good, but I don't have one of those, so I improvised and that's what I'm doing. So I did it both for Minnie and Mickey, and then I cut around so that you just have the one shape left. So because I wanted to have this be a completely clear ear, wow, that rhymed, I'm using more packing tape to just set this in place on top of our vinyl that we cut out that was done with the cup. So they are just, you can make them as big as you want. They fit just inside the ears. I definitely tried to make it a little bit more clean after I put it on, but you barely see the packing tape through the actual ears in the vinyl, so it ended up working. So after we have Mickey and Minnie inside the ears and on their little circle, I wanted to add some bling. So I added some gemstones and I added some sequins, and this is pretty much to your own taste. I kind of wish I had different types, but once again, we're only using what we had at home, but I like the way that it turned out. So this next step is gluing the ears onto the headband. So when I was cutting the vinyl out originally, I had left a little bit of extra space for me to fold over the vinyl and sort of close it and to leave it more three-dimensional. And then in order for it to stand on the headband, I added a piece of felt to both ends. So I just folded in the extra vinyl and then added the felt on top of it just so that it will sit directly onto the headband, and the plastic or the vinyl won't burn or melt away, so it'll definitely just help it to sit. Usually I'm pretty good at just eyeing where the ears go, but you could definitely use a template for this as well. Because these are also a little bit more of a delicate pair of ears, they're not just fabric, I was holding them in place for quite a bit of time, so at least 30 seconds that I was pretty much holding it there. So when it comes to the decorating, this is definitely a personal choice. I ended up going with this awesome red pom-pom liner just to help decorate the outside of the ears and then also to help keep it in place. Like I said, because they are more of a delicate ear, it definitely helps to keep it more sturdy, and I also just really liked how it felt really cartoony, and I think it went really well with the theme, and I just wanted to follow that theme of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway with the red, so I really liked it. So now we move on to our bow. Once again, this is totally optional, but I was going more for that whimsical and classic Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse ears. So I'm using this white and red polka dot fabric. I made a square or a rectangle that was 9 by 11, and I also cut out another small piece of fabric that was going to be used to go around the bow in the center. So what I do is I fold the good sides together the long way, and then I sew that, and then I flip it inside out once again, and then you could see I'm taking the side with the seam, and then I'm flipping it and folding it into the side so that you're sewing on the side with the seam showing out. Totally understand if you guys aren't sewers. I'm not a huge sewer, but I do know how to do some basic things, and then you just turn it inside out again, and then you have your little square for your bow. So now that we've sewn our little square, we're going to accordion fold our bow and put hot glue in between all the folds just so it stays, and hold it there for as long as you can and then it will dry. And I'm taking my little piece of fabric that I left aside for the center of the bow. I'm making the ends cleaner by putting a little bit of hot glue. You can also sew those, but sometimes it's just easier to do the hot glue. And then I'm setting it down into the center of the bow with a little bit of hot glue, and then I wrap around my little centerpiece and I cut off the excess, and then you have your bow. So here we have our final product. As I mentioned on Twitter, I think this is probably my favorite pair of ears that I've ever made, just because it's so interchangeable. You could use so many different things with it. It's awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and it was a little bit easy to watch and understand how I made these. If you have any questions, please just leave them in the comments down below. I would be happy to answer them. And like I said earlier, please be sure to check out everyone's videos that are a part of this quarantine craft party. They will all be listed down in the description below, so go check out their channels, go check out their crafts. I can't wait to see what else people have made that's Disney related, just to help fill our time with some more positivity and Disney magic. So I hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye.